Welcome to Saturday Night Rabbit Hole. I'm on with Professor Canuck. We don't have any sponsors other than Joe Slick Live here on Twitch. Tonight, we will sponsor other people when the time's right, so don't worry about it. Usually every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time or Arizona time. If you don't know what time that is, figure it, freak out, man. It's not my problem. But you need to know. It's a lot of fun, and it's what we do best, I believe, here at Joe Slick Live. Joe Slick Studios helps present this. I'm Joe Slick, your host, and I will be discussing today part 2 of the Western Faults, and I think we're going to probably bring you up to date with a little bit south of Los Angeles, and then we're going to go north. And because the other stuff that we have that's coming into us is really in the farther north, the Pacific Northwest, and bringing these other shows to the forefront is what we need to do. So yeah, hold on a second. I better pause that. All right. And for all of those who do not know what we do here, let me share with you what we do here. Hi, I'm Joe of the Joe Slick Live Show. My interactive live show is on twitch.tv/Joe Slick Live. Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and occasionally in the evenings at 7. During the live show, I review and talk about reports from government, private, and other reporting agencies and websites regarding celestial and terrestrial phenomena. Topics will include solar flares, sunspots, geomatic storms, and near-Earth asteroids and comets that are being monitored around the world. Included in the report is current events in the last 12 to 24 hours here on Earth, consisting of volcanic, seismic, and weather events. I close the morning report off with what's happening in the local and world news. Thank you, and you can be a part of the morning report by going to twitch.tv/Joe Slick Live. Look forward to seeing you there, and remember, don't get none on you. Make sure you like and follow. Hit the bell button so you get notified over there on YouTube. All right. Thank you for your tips and your subscriptions. They help maintain this whole rigmarole and games that we play here and the fun. So you can see us again on Joe Slick Live Monday through Friday in the mornings. Yeah. On twitch.tv/Joe Slick Live. I read that wrong a little bit. I go, what? Yeah. Anyway, good evening, everybody. We'll turn the intro off. Yeah. Let's start off with the latest non-happenings, or I saw today, Canuck, that Iceland had gone off again. That isn't true, is it?
No, the eruption ended.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Yeah, there's nothing happening right now, so now they just wait till the next one.
Yeah, it's infilling again, right? It's still rising up in the north a little bit.
Yeah, well, Svartsengi's started to inflate again.
Yeah, inflate again, yeah. So it's kind of like a pumping up. Pump you up. Yeah, but I don't know how long we'll be on this evening, so hang in there. But yeah, we're going to stay within context of the West. We will mosey to the East, so bear with us. But the context is strictly here. What the hell's going on in the West? Now, we can morph out, but I think Canuck and I were trying to hit it pretty hard on Wednesday, and I think we did a fairly good job, but it was super cursory. So Canuck has some dates in 1800s and in up to the current. Am I correct? Earlier we were talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. I'm going to try and a lot of work here on behind the scenes to try to get things so you can see what we're seeing and talking what we're talking. But specifically with up there in Iceland, they did have what was it, a 5 in the middle, and nothing else happened, right? And that 5 was a couple of days ago, was it not? Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, it was up by Bardabunga, but
Wait.
nothing has happened yet.
I like that one. I don't know why. I think it's funny.
And they had a smaller one down by Katla, but nothing happened.
Katla. Yeah. We're going to talk about that one. I don't know what it. I don't know. It just. I don't know. To me, it's funny as hell. I don't know why.
It's better when it echoes.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Anyway, close that. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. I don't need that one either. Okay, so Iceland's normalized. So it's not erupting. It's still kind of bulging over there as it goes north. I didn't do a report today because I don't usually do reports on Monday or Saturday and Sunday. But and I've been busy. I don't even know what's going on. The neighbor told me, hey, there's a couple of earthquakes. Oh, yeah? I didn't even know until about an hour ago. I said, we had earthquakes? I'm just super busy here in the studio. But but let's see. See what else? I think, to start off, where would you like to start there, Canuck? You've been doing the research, so I'll try to accommodate.
Talk about what happened today.
All right. Where would you like to start?
So I'll just say about California. That's what
all right. So we'll start up California. Let me bring in a USPS. Yeah. Oh shit. Okay, you're still there. I thought I killed it. There you go. All right, so here's the world map. You want to zoom in on California? Japan just popped. Yeah. Ooh. All right. Not a biggie though.
Yeah, Japan's been having 5 deeps around the edges.
All right. So where would you want to start? You started in SoCal, seeing how that's where we were. Several medium quakes. They're not huge, but I can show you the medium quakes. There's 5 of them. There's an Ontario 3.9, 2.6, and a 3.5. Then off shores of Rancho Palo Verdes in the San Pedro Channel, a 2.9 and a 2.5. So talk to me, Goose.
Well, those ones happened later on today, but the first ones were the ones up by the geysers, Clear Lake at the geothermal.
Oh, okay.
So they were earlier, so people were focusing on that.
All right, we'll get there. Let's stay with the southern, then we'll jump north.
Yeah. So when I noticed it today, I thought it was interesting because when I saw when it came up first, it was a 4.2, the one in Ontario. But then I started looking at it, and I said, oh, well, that's not too far from Glenhaven.
Right.
So I started, and
at this point, it's warm too, dude. Look at that.
Yeah, and so that's what it was doing. So then I started thinking about, well, what happened in 2019. But that was before I knew about the 2 quakes off the coast of Palo Verdes. I didn't see them until I started looking.
Shoot. 38 quakes there. in Ontario
Yeah. So
today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So the
good
first
one.
one was when it first came in, it was 4.2, but then of course they downgraded it to
Mhm.
3.9. So anyway, so everybody was all worked up about that because quite
Let's
a few
take a
people
look at it.
felt it.
All right. It was a strike slip, pure strike slip. Let me see. Look at the origins here. Magnitudes. Well, 4.2 all the way down to 394. They chose the 394.
Yeah. And it's pretty much in between San Jacinto and
Elsinore.
the Chino Fault, which they say is an extension of Elsinore.
Well, I see Elsinore down below, but yeah.
Well, it branches off into two, but if
It
you read,
splays, Central Avenue Fault, and it must splay.
yeah, but if you read about
Red Hill,
those faults, they say that they're all like
shows
connected
you.
to the Elsinore. But where it is, it's kind of halfway in between. So of course, I started looking there to see if they have any faults identified in that area, which is close to Highway 60.
Yeah, Highway 60. I know it. I hate it.
But when I looked up that, they said there wasn't basically any faults under Highway 60. So, but that's the same thing they say about Glen Avenue.
Well, there's some east-west stuff, but nothing. I'm seeing in that area, northwest to south or northwest to south east. The Elsinore Fault. You're right. There is a quake closer to the Central Avenue Fault, which is a splay off of the Elsinore as well. I want to say, the Elsinore goes through Yorba Linda into Rolling Heights and Whittier. This one is over on Glen Avon. So they're saying it's a splay off of that, just like the down here are the ones that the Elsinore Fault Zone goes over to San Jacinto through Borrego Springs. So you can see Elsinore's here. You can see it. Yeah. Elsinore's here and San Jacinto's here. This is a complete separate fault zone like Elsinore, like the San Andreas. All three are related. The long one is the Elsinore, which comes all the way down into the Laguna Salada Fault.
Yeah.
Whereas the San Andreas or the Imperial Fault breaks into the San Jacinto Fault, and the San Andreas goes over Hermosillo and Somerton and into the volcanics out here in Baja. But there is a splay that jumps. The Brawley seismic zone jumps through Brawley from the Imperial Fault onto the San Andreas, where it eventually starts up. Seen a lot of red dots after I put it in, show all faults. And you can see that this area right here is 39 faults or 39 quakes today alone popping around that zone. And we do have some out here on the San Jacinto Fault, smallies, ones. And then up here in Loma Linda, this area is part of the San Jacinto area. And then you can see traveling south, definitely more faults or earthquakes are happening, kind of jumping from the Elsinore over to the San Jacinto. But this is kind of disconcerting for me because you start to see a lot of east-west stuff here. And we talked about the San Gabriel Mountains and the Sierra Madre that goes through Glendora right here. I think we were talking earlier when 1987, 86, 89, somewhere in there. Were we?
Yeah, 87.
87. Yeah. And I remember pretty strong earthquakes up here. Upland, Alta Loma, Fontana.
Yeah, I looked it up after you said it. There was
Mhm.
5s there, and it was right before the Whittier quake in 87.
Yeah, I remember it was hot. Freaking hot during that time period.
As I looked them up, they were like 2 dates in October right before Whittier happened.
What, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Whittier happened in the fall.
Yeah, it was in October.
Yeah, because the summer, boy. I lived in Yorba Linda at the time.
It's one of the things I looked up to prove my new lineaments that I
Okay. Yeah. Why don't you tell them about it? I gotta grab the air conditioner.
So anyway, when I saw that today, I said, "Oh well, I'm gonna look into that more." And I'd already studied the Glenavon swarm before, and found out there was a lady that did her thesis saying there should be a fault there that she called the Fontana Trend, and it goes northeast to southwest. So then I said, "Oh, northeast to southwest, that's fun." Well, so I looked down, and that was before I saw the 2 offshore Channel Islands quakes. And I said, "Oh, look." I go southwest, right, right through the Palaverses landslide, right to the 2 Channel Islands quakes. And I said,
Right.
well, this exact same thing happened in 2019 because there was a swarm in the Channel Islands right before the Glenavon swarm started. So I said, look, it's the same line again, pretty much.
Right.
So then I started extending it out like what I do when I find one. So I started going southwest, and I kept going southwest and right through Hawaii. Well, of course, it's always swarming there. That's nothing new. So I kept going all the way across, and it goes right through PNG, right where we had the 6.2 and the 6.0. And I kept going, and it went through a quake that just happened in northern Australia. And then where it was, I kept going the same direction, and it went right through a quake in Western Australia where it's been swarming down in the southwest corner.
Let me get I think I have Australia on here. Australia right there.
Yeah.
Show this one instead. Here we go.
So I said that was exciting. So I said, well, that's pretty
Northwest
obvious.
in the Northwest Territory one.
There was one in North Australia that was on there, and it went through that one. And then there's one in the southwest corner down there where it's been swarming.
All right. And we got this one offshore, 3.4, happened today also in the ocean below. And here's in Western Australia, a little 2.8. And then way up here, there's a 2.6.
Yeah. So I just stayed with that, and I said, well, I'm going to go back in time because I remember 2019, what happened before.
6.4, sure. Oh, that's January. 1/9/24. That was January quake.
Well, the ones I were looking at are only 4 to 8 hours on my app.
Stop that. 7/9. Yeah, I don't know why they do this. Recent earthquakes.
Yeah, the Tonga one has just happened.
7 days.
Recent.
1 day.
Like tonight.
Yeah, there's a Tonga one that just happened. Yeah. So I guess they have the month in the middle, the day on the outside. Okay. 9/7/24. A 6.0. Right in the middle of Tonga.
Yeah. So then to prove my line, I decided, well, I'm going to go back to 2019 first because that's the most recent
Okay.
one.
Do you want me to go ahead?
So the Glenavon swarm started, I think it was May 25th, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So then I looked back because I knew the Channel Islands swarm was like 4s. And it happened, I think it was like I don't remember the exact dates, 2 or 3 days
Hold
before
on, I'll look it up for you.
before the Glen Evans swarm started. So it still would have been May.
$12.31. I'm only going to do it for that year of 2019. All right, custom, and you want to look at Greater Los Angeles area. All right, use this region. Search shoulder tab instead. Terrain.
You'd probably have to have it on.
There's 2,865 of them.
Yeah, that's
because of Ridgecrest.
Yeah.
All right, so you can see all of these. Now, why is it? What are we doing here? Main. Chrome key.
Yeah, you'd almost have to cut out Ridgecrest.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll leave it on there because it's kind of, filters. I'm gonna delete it. Make sure that looks a little. What the hell happened? Okay. Properties. Latest earthquake. There we go. I'm trying to make it see a little better. All right. All right. So we had a little swarm right here. Here's Glen Avon, South Fontana, and happening today. West of that. All right. You'll see. This is happening west of South Fontana. So Glen Avon is right here. These are happening west.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right. Share this tab, and there you see it. Tab goes all the way up into Wrightwood, which is the danger area. And then there was a couple in Brea, Yorba Linda. There was some out in the Channel Islands, like you said. 3-5 out here. Off Newport Beach and Huntington Beach. Rancho Palo Verde is a little bit in the south.
Yeah.
Faults. So it wasn't on the Coronado Bank, but it was. And these are all 2019, everybody. But Ventura had a little swarm back later in the year. 11. Yeah, later in the year.
Yeah.
So these ones are here happening after as well.
Yeah, so the Glen Evans swarm, the first one, I think, was like May 25th or 26th, which just happened to be the same day as the Prue 8. I remember that because I looked up all that stuff before. So I tracked it the Walker Lane side. So now I'm going the other way with this new lineament. So then I started going down, and I said, well, so I started going down to PNG because I wanted to see what was happening in PNG in 2019 because I didn't remember for sure. Well, there was a 7.6 there, almost in the exact same place where we just had the 6.2.
Yeah, freaking USGS is not even showing it.
And I think it was like 11 days before the
6.4, you mean? Or 6.2, okay. Happened on the 4th.
Yeah.
All right. So that's all right.
So
you're looking at that one.
Yeah. So in 2019, there was a 7.6 there, almost in the same area on New Britain Island, I think it said. I can remember that once I saw the thing. So in the same area. So it was like 11 days before the Glen Evans swarm started in May. So it was like
May 31st, yeah.
So it was like a May earthquake in PNG. And then I said, oh, well, that's interesting. So then I said, well, that pattern works. So PNG to up through the Channel Islands or through Hawaii. Hawaii wasn't erupting then, but that was the year after it had the big eruption, so it was still having earthquakes and stuff. So Hawaii was
2019 was a busy time, man. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's wild.
So you're talking about the triple junction up here in PNG.
Because PNG had many quakes that year. There was like 2 7s and
7.6, 6.4,
3 or 4 6s or something.
Yeah.
So it was like super busy that entire year. So then after that, I said, well, I'm going to go back to 87 and see what was happening, because we'd already talked about the Whittier quake.
Correct.
So I wanted to see what was happening in 87.
Yeah,
so
you got a 7.6 on May 14th. And Glen Avon started on the 31st. So, I mean, by USGS.
Yeah, so I started looking at PNG in 87.
PNG 87, all right.
And it was going nuts then, too, at the same time as the Whittier quake.
The Whittier quake.
The Whittier quake.
Search custom 1987. And I'm going to stay with 1987, only the year. And
well, the lineaments make the fault lines. That's what this whole argument is.
Oh, yeah. And search. Come like this. Terrain. Let's look at PNG, like you said. Oh, yeah. Freaking slamming busy in that same spot. 6-0. 6-1.
So then after that, I said, well, I'm going to find out what was going on in Hawaii in 86 and 87. So
5-1 in Kaloa.
Yeah. So
in 87.
I saw that, but what was happening, if you go in and look like that, those 2 years, 86 and 87, it was having the eruptions at a Pu'o'o that were having the lava go down and take out the towns on the way offshore. That's what was happening in 86 and 87.
All right.
Because all the lava was coming at a Pu'o'o and going down. And
on the back side of 5-3, on the front side of 5-5, 4-9, a 4-5.
I think it started erupting in 83, Kilauea did, but it kept going all the way till 2018, technically.
Basically, we want to put it in a perspective. A lineament is a electromagnetic line in which the belief or the theory is, and that's what we're trying to reaffirm by using these dates and going back and seeing quakes happen along these lines and responding. Because, well, first let me do, and it's along these lines that we're seeing on a map. And whether or not it's a map like this, which I know is not true to, how large, Australia is to Africa and Africa to United States, because you can fit United States inside of Africa pretty easily, and Russia and all that, and the ocean being what it is. But what we're seeing is along these lines, just with using this map, is a reoccurrence that's pretty consistent with activity within a small time frame, geologically speaking, that if one area we're saying is active, we follow this line and we find out that another area along that line is active, and then we continue that line all the way around the planet, because it's more like I don't know, I'm going to draw it for you, and I'll have to, put you guys where you can see it. So let me share that window with you. All right. So if I have the planet here and I draw a line like this, well, that line is really, I don't know how good this is going to be. So bear with me. Is like this, right through half the world, right? And if that's like that, it's all the way in all 360s. But what we're saying is we're seeing quakes happen along this line consistently.
Well, they call it now magnetic lineaments. That's what they're calling it.
Oh, you can't see it, damn it.
In the new studies.
Right. Magnetic lineaments. All right. Why is that other mouse doing it? Oh. Like, hey.
And they can see them with the satellites.
Right. So it goes through the planet. I just take these off. All right. And I don't know how you draw it. So if we see it northwest to southeast, we'll see quakes happen along that line. Now, there are other lines.
Well, the lines can go north to south, east to west.
Right.
Northwest to southeast, or northeast to southwest. So the one I'm talking about right now is northeast to southwest.
Correct. And what it's kind of like you put a plate through the core, and you look at it sideways, right? And it's happening along this line.
Yeah, it's like you're looking down on the top, and you're seeing the line.
Right.
But it's actually coming from the core up and out, and I think that's what makes our magnetosphere.
Right.
Now, I haven't looked to see what was happening in 87 and 86 yet with geomagnetic storms, but I imagine stuff was happening.
In 2019, there was a ton, man.
Yeah.
We had solar wind right around Ridgecrest at 700, 800, 900. It was really crazy.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Rockets are going off.
Yeah, rocket fire. I gotta shut it off.
Okay.
There was a bunch this morning, but it was hostile aircraft, so it was drones.
Drones, yeah.
Rockets.
I'm not seeing anything on the 10 cameras I got.
It's still going.
Oh, yeah. Northern Israel, yeah, I can see them coming up. Boom. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can see him popping up in the northern Israel there. Camera number 3.
Oh, yeah, there's like 6 new warnings coming in. Oh, I got to shut that off. I don't want it to go on every 2 seconds.
It's on the news now. They're saying, yeah, they're getting popped. They're shooting them down, but still, they're just going to get hit again. Israel's going to hit the shit out of them. I've seen a couple explosions in the air.
Oh, and another thing I forgot to mention earlier, when I was looking up the original line just from the stuff today, I didn't realize that there was a new fire in San Bernardino County.
Oh, yes.
Called the Line Fire.
Right.
That's the name of it. And it was going crazy today. like expanding big, like 3,800 acres. And I looked at it and where it started, and it's right on the San Andreas, and it's on that same line.
Oh, wow.
So I thought that was funny, which I didn't even know about that till like later
Funny,
on.
not funny, ha ha, but funny like, hey, you know. Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, because when I went on my Google Earth that I
Oh,
have
geez, it's freaking huge.
yeah, it's like 4,000 acres or something.
Oh, boy. Yeah, it's right behind Highland, moving up the mountain. Yeah, if it gets into those trees, forget about it.
And it started on September 5th, they said.
Yeah.
But it went crazy today because it's so hot.
Yeah. It's 1,150 acres. Incident management. I'll share with them. You brought that up.
Yeah. Well, I thought they said 4,000 acres when I looked at it a couple hours ago.
I just clicked on it. Yeah.
So I don't know if
when's the last time? Last update. Oh, okay. Discovery date was yesterday, the 6th at 1 a.m. And probably somebody did something there. 1.8 square, 465 hectares. I don't know that. View the situation report.
And when I looked it up, because I have all the stuff on my Google Earth now, so I could see it on there. I just wasn't zoomed out far enough, and I said, "Look, there, it's on the same line." So I thought that was pretty nuts.
Yeah, that's right behind where the earthquakes. I think we seen these today.
And it's like right on the San Andreas, so I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, Redlands.
And then I was watching.
It's all happening here. Share this tab. So all the fires are happening right here. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was watching the lady there that does all the Catherine. She's from Oregon there that does all the fire reports. Yeah, so she was showing like all the stuff on the radar, what it was doing. And she was kind of stumped because it was making lightning not over the fire to either above it or below it. And it was like right over the San Andreas. So she was kind of puzzled. Well, because she figured it from the smoke going up, it should have been making like the lightning right over the fire.
Well, it is on the San Andreas, and it's moving northeast, away from the San Andreas. Yeah. And there's also that might be drilling or something. I don't know what that is.
Because she was showing it on the radar because it would show like lightning strikes and stuff. So.
Oh yeah.
That's what she was showing it on. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, the line fire is freaking huge.
Yeah, because they were doing a whole bunch of extra evacuations when I looked at it there. Whatever it was, 2 or 3 hours ago.
All right. It's just 2 days old.
Yeah.
And I don't know, firms may have it at a larger time. I did 24 hours, 7 days. All right. It's a little bit beyond now. 1,100 acres is what they're showing right now at this time on firms.
Well, when I read on the Cal Fire thing, it was 4,000. That was like back a couple hours ago. So I don't know if they have that thing updated on the thing on the fire. Because when I first looked at it, it was 3,800. And then when I looked at it again, it was 4,000. A couple hours ago. So hard to know what it is now. But it was going crazy, I guess. And then there was another one that broke out by Reno, Nevada.
Yeah, 7,000 acres have burned on that fire you're talking about.
Yeah.
0% contained at the moment.
Yeah, that's what it said when I looked at it earlier.
A line fire.
I don't know why it's called line. I never did find
You see it right
that,
here. This is
but I
all
just thought it was ironic because I was looking up that
because it's
line.
on baseline. That's why.
That's why they,
Now, you've heard of the idea that baseline and liniment is synonymous, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was ironic when I said, "Well, what's the name of that fire?" And I looked at it on
It's a
Ferns,
line.
and it's in line when I'm looking at
Yeah.
that other line. So, but anyway, so it was on that. So now back to 87 again because I got into 87 in the Whittier quake. Now I didn't know about, but you said in there about the 2 5s that were in that area, or at
Right.
least 1 5 that you remembered.
Yeah,
Well,
I felt that it was either Fontana or Upland. I think it was Upland.
yeah, there was 2 of them.
Oh,
Right around that same area, 2 5s, because I went and looked it up, and they were all early October, so right before Whittier happened.
all right. 1987.
Yep.
All right.
So I thought that was interesting. So there was 5s in that area right before Whittier. Well, Whittier's not too far away from it.
Right. Whittier. When was Whittier Narrows? That was October, right?
Yeah, I can't remember the exact date.
Yeah, I'll get you it. Hold on a second.
Middle October, maybe.
Yeah, I'll get you. I'm searching it now. Yeah, Rosemead. They called it Rosemead. Whittier Narrows, 5.9, 1987. Terrain. I don't see the Rancho Cucamonga one. 5.9 Whittier Narrows and Rosemead 10.4, 10.1. There are 2 quakes, 2 5.9 and a 5.3. Yeah. All right. So that's in
Well, it would be like this time of year because it was in.
yeah, October 4th and 1st. Yeah. 1987.
So then I remembered because the Superstition Hills quakes were that same year, but they were after in November. There was 2 of them, a 6 and 6.5.
Well, down by the ranch, Elmore Ranch had a 6.2 in October, and that's basically a 6.2 and a 6.6 Superstition Hills in 1987, and that's on the Elsinore Fault.
Yeah.
So like there was a pretty good swarm there. Yeah.
So a bunch of them are all acting up in that time period.
Right. And that's Ocotillo Wells,
Yeah. And then I remembered that I looked up Oceanside quakes before, and I remembered that there was one in Oceanside in 87.
Yeah, I'm looking at one off the shore.
Or in like that area.
But
5.4.
it's there's a 4.0 in Santa Barbara. Looks like it was on the Santa Cruz Catalina Ridge Fault. Share this instead. So you'll see right here. This is 1987, everybody. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to show you that significant quakes, not just little bitty ones, but significant quakes happen along this trend line, and that's what I use. Canuck uses lineaments, and that's what a term that he's familiar with, and I use trend lines. And you'll see on this trend line, it goes out all the way up to Big Bear 4.1, and and I wonder, did I do all of them, or I just did that? And you can see the swarm in 1987 down here in Ocotillo Wells, Superstition Hills. A couple of significant quakes, as well as in Rosemead or Monterey Park, the Whittier quake. Whittier Narrows 5.9, 5.3, 4.1, 4.8, 4.6, 4.0, 4.7. I did 4 and above. So that's interesting. And the trend continues. In Mexico, too, had a 5. 1987. When was this one? 10.4 to, all right, February 7.
Oh, I guess it was 86 that Oceanside has the 5.4.
All right, so the Whittier Narrows quake happened, and then the large quake, the 6.2 down in south, happened after. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we found these too. Bakersfield 4.0. Big Bear Lake 4.1. Crazy. And that's just 87, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So then I started looking. Well, I wanted to know what happened in 86 too. So that's when I found the Oceanside one.
All right. Let me look
So,
it up.
so it was in July 86.
All right.
And the felt reports on that, it was a 5.4, but they said they felt it in Palos Verdes. So I thought that was interesting.
Wow.
Even though it was down near San Diego, right where there was a little quake there the other day.
Well, you have a 6.0 down on the EPR right at the bottom of Baja. And up, you had a 5 coming up the Hermosillo, and a couple of 4s coming up before that. And after that, you had a 5 real close to San Felipe. And then you had offshore Oceanside, the 5.5, but the interior, Palm Springs in 1986, had a 6.
Yeah.
And I'm going to share this. All right. So you'll see down below here in Mexico, there's your first 6, 925. And we have a 5 down here. That's earlier. That's 4.7. Then here's your other 6 that happened. Before. It happened actually before. It happened in July 8. And then looky here. Bishop had a big swarm. And a 6.4.
Yeah.
In July 21. Wow. Shortly thereafter. And then, of course, they're blowing up nuclear bombs.
Yeah, and when I went into 87 more, there was a 7.9 in Antofagasta, Chile.
In Chile, all right.
Yeah, so that was like coming up Walker Lane, and there was a 7 South Sandwich Islands.
I got a 6.3 and what country is that? That's Potasi, but Bolivia. Yeah, I'm looking for the 7. You said Antofagasta?
Yeah.
All right. I don't see a 7, but
I think it was near the start of the year.
Yeah,
March, I think.
Yeah, I have it listed all year. Let me see. I can find the largest. No, I just do it that way. Newest, largest. Wow, there was an 8 in Alaska.
Yeah, that's the Gulf of Alaska quake.
Yeah. Kermitics had a 7.7.
Because there was
7.5.
There was big Gulf of Alaska quakes both in 86 and 87.
Romania had a 7.2. Jeez. Papua, right in the triple junction, had a 7.2. Fiji, a 7.1. Fiji, 7.1. Vanuatu, 7.1. Mexico had a 7.0. It's in Michoacan. There we have a 6.8 in Peru. Papua had another 6.8. Yeah, Indonesia is banging hard between in the Malacca Sea. Serious quakes. Yeah, big quakes. Dang. In the Malacca Sea. Wow. Yeah, there are serious ones there.
Well, and the fire that just broke out by Reno would be on Texas Liniment.
Yes, sir. I'm not sharing. I should have been sharing it, but I am sharing them. Good. No, I'm not. Show on stream. I'm sorry. These are the ones up here in just outside Long Valley, north of Bishop. We talked about those. We talked about the one here in northern Palm Springs, offshore, Oceanside, 5.5, and then a 5 down here, and a 6 down here, and another 6 down here, and then there's a banger. That's a 7, and that's in Michoacan.
Oh, and there's a fire down by the San Felipe Crack right now too.
Oh, jeez. 6 down here.
Guess I saw that on there when I was looking at the other one.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it's burning down there. I thought it was all desert.
No, there's like it burns here too, dude. I mean, seriously burns. And it's like, whoa. It's not like 200 feet flames, because that's happening there in San Bernardino, or I don't know if that's San Bernardino. It's probably Riverside County today, but
It said San Bernardino County when I
okay, all right. So San Bernardino County, yeah, up there near Banning, Redlands, Yucaipa area. Yeah, that's not good. It burning like that. Those trees, those flames will get 300, 400 feet tall going up the mountain. The mountain's really, you're kind of in that section, in that section where the fire's like right up in here, right? The line fire. Here's baseline. So you follow baseline. The fire's all here. All right. Right through here, down this highway, through Banning, Beaumont, Desert Hot Springs, into Indio. Huge wind. I mean, massive wind. But these mountains, it's like being, I think Redlands is, or Banning, definitely Banning. Banning is like 2,500 foot. Beaumont's 2,500 foot. And then you're going up to, San Gorgonio, which is 3,500. What's that? Hold on, I'll tell you. Yeah. The 10,000 feet, you're going up 8,000 feet, and it's like straight up, and the wind blows from right to left, strong. That's where all the Santa Anas come out of here, and then out of through the Wrightwood area, and all of LA and Orange County get blown because of these two areas. And they have all the windmills. I can probably show you the windmills. I mean, it's just Windmill City. Wait, where am I again? Whitewater, North. Okay, yeah. All this. So what is that? All these are windmills. because the wind blows so darn hard through here. And there's windmills up on all of these mountains. And then that fire is burning right here. And you can see on the how it goes from down low to straight up. And that's the San Andreas. You can see the line of the San Andreas right through there. So it's, yeah.
Yeah, because when I saw the hot spots for the fire, they were starting right on the San Andreas. So I thought that
Yeah, on baseline there, yeah. That's crazy. We're still swarming, still picking up new earthquakes down here. Glenhaven is over here. This is west of Glenhaven. Not far. But I don't know what is out here. Look at that. They got a damn lake around there. Their houses are. There's a water treatment plant. That means that's where they treat the poo-poo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when I zoomed in on the first one, which
Ontario
was
Airport.
Yeah, the 3.9, it was right under somebody's house because I zoomed right in on it.
Yeah. Yeah, the 3.9 I think is right there, yeah. And it has moseyed southwest. That's the original quake 3.9 up here.
Yeah.
It has moseyed southwest. I think that's kind of unique.
Yeah, well, it's
concentration here.
It's the same trend as what the Glenavon swarm did. So it was on like a northeast to southwest plane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So could it be a splay then? Like you said, it's a splay off of.
No, I think it's an unknown fault that
right.
goes northeast to southwest. Because the lady there that did her thesis on the Fontana trend, she called it her Fontana fault. She said the one that went through Glenavon was the same way, northeast to southwest. So she was trying to convince him with her thesis that it was a fault based upon the historical stuff that she'd put together.
Researched on, yeah.
Yeah, but USGS, whoever's responsible for identifying the fault, never pursued it any farther because they don't want to anyway. Because if people knew about all this stuff, well, it's already, by what I'm reading now, they don't want to give out earthquake insurance there now, so it'd be
correct. And fire insurance either. There's everybody's leaving. Big organizations are leaving California. Yeah. Insurance organizations because they're losing their ass. You know.
And you can usually tell when you look at the swarm how it acts, like what fault it's trying to break. So you just look at how it goes and you pretty much identify there's a fault there. They just haven't identified it yet officially. Because the swarm itself is moving like southwest.
Yeah, I've got a Oakland, Yucaipa, and San Jacinto, Fontana. Now I think that's, what freeway is that? 60. All right. There's the 60 right there. Trying to see if I can see any faults. All right. The topography here QOA is marine or non-marine continental sedimentary rocks from the Pleistocene in terrain. They zoom out just a hair. Here's Mount Yoruba. And There's the 60 Valley Boulevard. Okay, where are these things at? St. Archibald. Railtown, Gustav. I think I'm just a little bit. Here's Fontana. Okay.
Or it's a northeast to southwest fault that goes all the way.
The Chino fault. There's a Chino fault that goes right through here. I'm not seeing any other faults. There's a red hill that comes through here, through Rancho Cucamonga. Yeah, this thing's an unknown fault right now.
Yeah, they only have northwest to southeast ones on there on the USGS maps.
Yeah, I'm looking on Arches.
Yeah, until you get up to Rancho Cucamonga, and then there's east-west ones that start up there that go across.
Marine and non-marine continental sedimentary rocks. So it's all sedimentary through here. Yeah. And the mountains are all marine. So all this is uplift from out to sea. And the San Andreas is out here. So all this is filled in from all these mountains, being eroded into the valley here. Yeah, and I'm not seeing many faults.
Now I only did what happened today, and then
Right.
2019, and then 87. I'd have to go back farther because I'd probably have to do 1971. See what happened then.
Right. You'd have to do 97. I'm trying to give you a little more information on the. There we go. There's a couple of faults through the area. I'm trying to get them. Pomona's right there. There is a fault, Fontana fault, that goes northeast to southwest. So it goes from Fontana right through Ontario right here. And Pomona is right there. So this could be an offshoot of the Fontana fault. So, and let me share this tab with you.
Yeah, because see, the original Ridgecrest quake was on an unknown fault that goes northeast to southwest.
You can see we're talking about right through here.
So I thought it was interesting the Glen Evans swarm happened before Ridgecrest. And the first Ridgecrest quake, the 6.4, 6.5, was on an unknown, previously unknown northeast.
There it is.
Fault. Because I think it goes the whole way through because it's liniment. And they just haven't identified all the faults yet.
Right. Well, the see this bend right here in this San Bernardino Freeway, that bend. Oh, you can see it. Here's the bend right here. The quakes are happening right below the airport. The airport. And it is a swarm that's going on. There's the airport. These quakes are happening right here on the 60, right there. That's the Fontana fault that goes this way. So it's an offshoot of the Fontana that's quaking storm or right now. You see that right there. That's happening currently. So that's what's going on in Southern Cal. And you're saying that the
like you just keep going on that same line, it goes right down through Palos Verdes. where the landslide is. It goes off through the two
For
Channel
these quakes
Island
here.
quakes,
Yeah.
which line up perfectly with the landslide and also the wildfire.
There's a Running Springs quake too on the backside, and Arrowhead Lake. Look at, if you just kind of follow. Okay, he's saying to follow. Bang, 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 and I'm gonna zoom it out, following at an angle. Pretty much goes right through Hawaii. He's right. I'd say a little bit north of where Hawaii is, but then again, everything kind of curves, right?
Yeah.
But
and then I just kept going. It went through PNG.
I don't know what this mess is here, but that's where it's really pointing at. If I wanted to be technical on this map, which I think is bullshit, right through here and then out this way, but he's saying it quite possibly. He's making a curvature. The world is round.
Well, I just did it on my app, which is Google Earth inside the
Yeah.
app.
All right.
And that only has 48 hours worth of quakes on it, but I can still see the lines.
All right. Well, that's interesting.
So that was fun. So now we'll see if anything else happens along the same line. When I went the other way, it went all the way to Svalbard.
See, me, I have this one here in Easter Island, through Tonga, through yours, through Turkey, and up here. I'm waiting for something up here off of this. But if I went 7 days, you would see that it already hit.
Yeah, because my app shows quakes above 2.5 all over the world in 48 hours.
In 48 hours. Yeah, that's, yeah. Yeah, bang, 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 bang. All right. Well, you're still working your theory, and, that's good.
So I have no clue what happened with the quake in 71. Silmar quake. I never looked at it.
Silmar quake. All right. Yeah. That's up here.
And I haven't looked up what it was doing for geomagnetic storms in 87 and 86. Right. Do that in 2 seconds.
Well, yeah, it would take you a little bit.
Well, not really, because I just get the top 50 storms of the year and then I look at the dates.
Wow, Fontana.
Because I can see if it's like.
Did we have anything in?
If the geomag storms are around the same time as.
South Chino. Chino Hills.
87. Yeah, the majority of the storms that year were, looks like August, September, October. So that's in our, and they were KP7 and a whole bunch of 6s in 87. So that's interesting. So right around the same time as all those quakes were happening in California.
All right, we're having these quakes right now. Pretty close to, where's the airport? Find the airport. Here's the airport. That's Chino Airport. Sorry. All right. They're all happening right here. You follow this Fontana fault, and the Chino fault goes right through here. But you know what's interesting? Just off the Chino fault, you bounce over to the Point of Hills fault right there. And it curves up north. And you were talking about that the other week.
Yeah.
And it's not the only one that does that. The Point of Hills fault. What the heck?
Well, I just looked at 86 for geomagnetic storms, and at the start of that year, there was KP9 storms.
It lies in Park.
Like 4 of them.
There's 2 Point of Hills faults. That's weird. And the Eliason Park's in the middle. So it comes down like this and makes an S and continues. And they call it a Point of Hills fault on this map. Point of Hills.
Well, I think Elysian Park is a anticline
Point of Hills.
thing too.
Eliason Park. Yeah.
So it's another thrust fault.
Point of Hills. Yeah, I guess it has a couple of splays. There's a Point of Hills that goes that way, and then a Point of Hills that curves up. So it comes out of basically Yorba Linda, moseys through Downey into Huntington Park, ends up in Wilshire in a San Vicente fault. And what's this fault? Hollywood fault. Oh, they call that a major one. Newport Inglewood. Yeah. Yeah, that's a major one, Newport Inglewood. And a Palos Verdes fault. You can see now that they have it all the way up into Malibu. It's in blue here. Oh, sure.
Well, and they're saying Palos Verdes and Coronado.
I don't know what.
And Agua Blanca. Or Blanco. Agua Blanco. Or Blanca. I can't remember.
Thank you for a sub.
They say all 3 of those are connected. So Palos Verdes goes right to Ensenada, Baja.
Ensenada's down here.
Because where it has
Coronado Bank.
Yeah, so it goes
Palo
Verdes, Coronado Bank Fault, and then Agua Blanca or Blanco. I can't remember which one it is. I remember it's Agua.
Bank. San Clemente. I'm not seeing it on this map, but that doesn't mean anything.
Well, I think it's Agua Blanca once it goes on the Mexico side. Right down to where Ensenada comes off there, where it has that peninsula that sticks out. That's what it runs into.
Yeah. So that one's called the San Diego Trough. And then the San Diego Trough North. And what is this one? San Diego Trough. San Pedro Basin.
Yeah, San Pedro Basin Fault or San Pedro Fault.
Yeah, that turns into pretty strong fault there, dude.
Yeah.
In San Clemente. I mean, Ensenada, south of Ensenada. That's a long fault. And our earthquakes or...
Yeah, the San Pedro one, they said it can make mid-7s the last time.
Oh, yeah. Mid-7s or 8. It's a good 300 miles, maybe?
Because I've read pretty much every one of them off the coast there. Because that's what they've been worried about the last since.
Yeah, they're the unheard of ones that we don't really know about because we don't see them, but they're doing studies out there. Yeah, that San Pedro one, that's a major fault, dude. And it is the San Felipe Ensenada connection. The San Felipe crack, I got all the way to Tijuana, which is more north, but the danger one, you can see it on our map. It goes all the way to San Felipe. You know, they haven't drawn it, but you can see the escarpment, the scar in the land. Yeah, that's the chicken leg snapping out there, man. Crazy.
Well, if you read about the Agua Blanco one, the one
Uh-huh.
that's coming off Baja, it says that that's the edge of the LA basin and how the Big Bend is. So that everything coming right up through Palos Verdes is all related to the San Andreas Big Bend. So that's like the outer edge of it, they say. So how everything bent when the San Andreas came into existence. So it's basically bending all the way from Ensenada, Baja,
Right.
all the way right up through Palos Verdes, right on up through to Malibu or Santa Barbara, out that way. So it's crazy stuff.
Yeah, they don't have any large quakes listed since white man has been in Southern Cal, looking at all these faults. These are the known faults listed on ArcGIS.
Yeah.
The big red dots are the big quakes that have happened. I can move up and you would see.
There's the farthest one they know about going back officially from people
The Owens Valley one.
feeling it and recording it was 1769.
Yeah, they don't even have the Ridgecrest on here because this is old. Ridgecrest is not on here, but all the red dots are the major quakes from 1700 onward, and the green dots a little bit larger, and so forth. But
because there's all sorts of new studies on the 1769 one, which I looked at that the other day, but I never went into them all.
1769 was.
Yeah, that was the LA Basin quake that the Spanish explorers came ashore.
Oh.
In the LA area, and it knocked them off their feet. So they recorded that one. And there's been a debate about which
Yeah, yeah, that's it. Yeah. 1769. 1812. 99 miles deep, 7.5. Pretty serious. And from what I've heard is the guy told us in a documentary that the Wrightwood quake slid 200 feet. That's like a 9, not a 7.5. If a 7.1 moves 15 feet, a 7.3 moves 17 feet, a 7.6 moves 25 feet.
Yeah, but they say that one was more than one.
Yeah, it was two. Yeah, the San Jacinto and the San Andreas at the same time. Right. And it stands to reason because a lot of damage happened. Because the water trails up in Wrightwood, you can see that where the land was, and it's not there anymore. It's like 200 feet away. If that happens today, LA is no more. It can't handle that kind of movement. So that's now what's happening up in Northern Cal. This just south of Clear Lake.
Yeah, the swarm is right at. Well, when I looked at it,
Cobb, yeah.
Yeah, this morning it was right by one of the geothermal plants, but there's a whole bunch of them up there.
Right. So zooming in.
How many there are now? 24 or something.
There's a whole bunch of plants up in here. Why are these quakes happening? Why is there this kind of swarm happening? Now the main volcano is like right up in here, but they're drilling it in down here. are they just trying to get rid of too much poop, or what? Because they do put the poop down there.
I got to see how many
3-1. A 4-3. That's quite large for them to be putting poop in there. So GE, share this. This is where the 4-3 hit.
$18. So there's 18 geothermal plants up there now.
Look, this is here. You can see there's a geothermal, right?
Yeah, all
There's
part
the
of
drill,
whatever it is, the Clear Lake geysers
right?
geothermal field. Because it's the biggest one in the world now. Cerro Prieto used to be the biggest.
Geysers Administration Center, right next to it.
Yeah, so they're all shook up in there. Well, probably not there for the weekend anyway.
Yeah. This is another drilling location. Then they got pipes of steam and they turn these turbines. And then here's another one, number 18 right here.
Yeah, because they have them all numbered.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're using all the sewer water for from
Los
Cali
Angeles.
to do it.
Or San Francisco pumping it in there. Sulphur Springs, number 14. Eagle Rock, number 11. It's quite spread out, isn't it? Black Oaks. Indian Mills.
Yeah, but the new stuff they're doing with the AI is pore pressure in the faults, which I have no idea how they're doing that. But it says they're doing it from the historical quake catalogs and all the smaller quakes. So I don't think that's ETS. So whatever they're doing now to do the AI earthquake forecasting is using whatever pore pressure is in the faults to figure out when it's going to have a big quake. So I don't know what that is. I'm going to have to investigate so they can translate it to normal English. You know what they're talking about. But they're using the historical earthquake catalogs too somehow. So all the stuff we've recorded going way back with seismos.
Cobb Mountain's 4,300 feet. So they put it in the valleys. Cobb is the mountain that everybody sees.
Oh yeah, but the whole place is like a geothermal field. So
right, it is.
Tapping into
2,700 feet, 2,600 feet, 26, and 25.
They're just using sewer water because they don't have enough regular water.
It looks like did this whole area burn down one time?
Yeah, there's big fires up in there last few years.
Yeah, burn the shit out of the place.
Yeah.
They didn't have enough material to pump down, I guess.
2022 or
oh yeah.
2021.
Yeah, it burned down it burned through this area pretty darn good. Oh wow.
Yeah. So that's why there's brownouts. So they had to shut the power off.
Yeah.
But there wasn't any geoturtle eruptions yet. It's just what they need.
Well, it's a shield volcano, right?
Well, they just say it's a geothermal field, but you could say that about any of them, right? They're all volcanic fields, so they could be whatever.
But the main volcano, Clear Lake volcano, right? It's like,
Well, it's like the Cerro Prieto one. That's what it's called, Cerro Prieto geothermal plant. It's right by the volcano, but yet the volcano is inactive. But
there it is.
so
Clear Lake
they're
volcanic
doing
field,
all the separate things,
right?
supposedly. Because that's where they got the idea for Clear Lake was copying what they were doing at Cerro Prieto. If you read about it,
Yeah.
so California just decided we'll make ours way bigger. So that's what they've done. And in order to do that, they had to get the sewer water because they didn't have enough regular water to run it. So they had that.
Well, they got the lake, but
Sewer
they
water.
wanted to drain the lake, right? Yeah.
Because I can't remember how many plants Cerro Prieto has, 8 or something, or 10. I can't remember. But Clear Lake has more now. So they're the biggest geothermal plant now in the world. So they improved on the Mexicans, basically.
Show them up.
Yeah. Because as far as I know, I don't think the Mexicans are using sewer water. But
It's pretty nice up there, to tell you the truth. But all that poop, I don't know.
you have an eruption. It'll be
Can you
all
imagine? Can you
groundwater.
imagine if the groundwater down there is so polluted? Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah. So brownouts up there mean a whole different thing.
I know, right?
Yeah, but if they get rid of all the people though in Northern California, there won't be any sewer water for them to use. So they're going to have to keep people up there.
Well, basically, they'll use one pipe to push the water that's treated, right? Instead of pumping out to the ocean, they'll treat the water, pump it into this, and then it'll create steam, and from another pipe they'll suck the steam out. That's how it works. I mean, last I heard.
Yeah, because they just need it to run the turbines.
Relatively safe.
Well, they brag about it on their page about that they're using sewer water, so I thought that's funny.
Right? I know, right?
Yeah. I don't know if you should brag about that or not. But
I don't know, man.
So I think that's kind of funny, actually. It's right on their main page when you go look it up.
Oh, thank you, Vampy. I thought it was Conan that did it, but you did it. Thank you, sweetie. Sent you a diagram. All right, let me look up the diagram, buddy. You guys are all looking at the latest earthquakes up in Northern Cal swarming. So we have swarming down in the Southern Cal, swarming in Northern Cal, all along the San Andreas is basically what we're saying. So,
well, there are, I think, other faults that go through Clear Lake. I just can't remember what it is, but it's one of the other ones.
Jeez.
Inside of the San Andreas.
Check my email. All right.
And Quake Cat put that in there. I don't know about that one. I haven't read it yet.
I haven't either.
Earth's third global energy field.
My idea. All right. Okay. Make sure this is palatable. From San Jacinto, unnamed, through Point of Hills, Wooded Narrows, Elysian Park, on out. I wouldn't disagree with you, Dub. Yeah, I would not disagree with what you're saying here. Share this tab instead. All right. This is Dub Diesel's thought about what's going on. The San Jacinto goes from where he's got the break turning left. San Jacinto goes up into San Andreas up here. But the Point of Hills, Whittier Narrows, Elysian Park, which all coalesce in this region, actually, even right out here through the Fontana Faults. Here's Fontana right up here. So, and you have the Chino Fault, all of this kind of right into it. I'm trying to make sure I protect his anonymity. Okay, he's got another one here. Okay. Oh, well, can't do much about it. I hope I protected his identity. So he's saying something like this. All right. Oh, it's up in the Bakersfield. Well, you can still follow the San Jacinto down here and get off of this. But I think the Bakersfield is due to the crunch of Garlock and the impinging point right here, the knuckle of everything. When this breaks free, oh, shite. It's not going to be good.
Well, and the White Wolf Fault is like the same angle as Garlock.
Garlock, yeah. White Wolf comes out of the Kern, coming down this way, goes right into it, actually, into that swarm. Garlock is here, and it goes offshore. But, yeah.
Because they say officially that 5.2 that was in Bakersfield is on an unknown fault north of White Wolf Fault. But they haven't said how it trends.
Right.
Like they haven't said if it's the same as White Wolf Fault or if it's like northwest to southeast or something else yet.
Right.
Anything I've seen. But all they say is whenever there's a quake on a place they haven't seen it before, well, then they have to find a new fault for it.
You got to blame somebody, right?
Yeah. And it's all normal activity, according to Lucy Jones, because that's what she said about the swarm today. I thought was funny.
Lucy Jones always didn't give me what I wanted to know. So I was always frustrated with her.
Well, I think she's the downplay person. Because if you talk to all the ones that are actually doing
political, you're saying?
Yeah, that are doing the studies, they're the complete opposite.
Yeah, I think everything's leading into Bakersfield. Coming down the Walker Lane, turning left at Garlock, everything coming up, turning left.
Because after she was the inspiration for the Great LA Earthquake movie with Joanna Kearns, it's kind of been downhill since then. Whatever year that was. Back in the 80s.
I don't know that I watched it.
It's a good movie, though. because
So
they have it starting at the big quake starting at Salton Sea and then coming up. So it's based upon all the same stuff, the studies they had back. I forget what year that movie was.
well, we had
80s.
275s out of Bakersfield. That's the strongest earthquake in southern Cal. Right there in Bakersfield, the Tahome Pass. So, and it happens about 100 years apart, right? 1852 and then 1952. Here we are in 24, and we can see it building again. We have 30 years before that thing pops again. Or did I have my dates off a little bit? There was 1872. That was the Owens Valley, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't there in 1852 or 1856 or something?
1857 was Fort Tahone.
Okay, 1857, and then 1952.
Yeah, it was
Fort Tahone. Right?
No, well, they don't call it that. They call it the Kern County quake or Tehachapi quake.
Tehachapi.
Yeah. Tehachapi. In 52, yeah.
Yeah, but they all happened right here. Yeah. Right there. Right at here's Tahome Pass. And what fault is that? San Gabriel Fault Zone, which comes off the Sierra Madre. Here's the Sierra Madre all the way out. Right? Up, right in front of the San Gabriel Mountains. Goes up here and then turns into this. And Garlock comes down, and there's I don't know how far that is. I'm interested. What the hell? All right, so I'm going to measure that. Put it on GE.
Yeah, the Great Los Angeles Earthquake movie was 1990.
All right.
Yeah, so Joanna Kearns was the one that played the. Well, everybody says it's based on Lucy Jones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it's basically it jumps about 5 miles. So if we're looking at this one and bouncing over through Fraser Park, the Big Pine Fault is Garlock. It's moved. So there's a time frame from here to here that the southern portion of the San Andreas is moving, taking a good portion of the edge of Garlock with it. I mean, there can be an argument made for that. And what's pushing it is this San Gabriel Fault, which ends up right there. You can see the White Wolf come down Wheeler Ridge, but White Wolf's right here. This is the edge of the White Wolf. And we've seen right out here is where that swarm has been going. They've been calling it what is it? Big or Grapevine. Well, this is what we call the Grapevine from San Fernando all the way over and down. So there's a big coming down this grade. And then there's the gas station right down here. That's where all the truckers go right here. That's not a fun drive. No. Through the Grapevine, that's not fun.
Well, if you look back, all the sevens, they've all happened Baja up through Walker Lane now for ages.
Mm-hmm. Last 40 years, yeah.
Yeah, so at some point, it's all going to have to catch up out on the outer part, which is what I think it's trying to do now.
Yeah, the desert's moved like what 15, 17, and
well, if 16, you go back to 92,
40 some feet.
Yeah, if you go back to 92, that was
92, 99, and Ridgecrest, and then you got 2010 down in, Mexico.
Yeah, so
The entire desert's moved radically.
Yeah, it's been all
in 40
Walker
years.
Lane, but
Yes, sir.
no sevens in the other part yet.
No. But they're responding, the quakes are here, then up here, and then down here.
And then if you went to the next 7 before that, it'd be 1952, and that was
right there. Yep.
Now there's been 6s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and 5s. Plenty of 5s.
But no 7s on.
Well, we had 6.9 or 6.7 out here in the San Fernando Valley. We had 6.1 or 2 in 1971. We had a couple of 5s in Whittier Narrows we talked about, and I'm sure the Upland quake. I don't know what 1980s Upland quake. 1988. 1990, a 5.7.
Okay, so that would have been the year after San Francisco then. This is 1990.
Yeah. How big was 89 earthquake in San Andreas Fault? 6.9. That was up in Loma Prieta. 89. Upland quake was 1990. Was a 5.7.
And then 94 was Northridge. So it was after Landers.
No, Upland was before Landers. Landers was 92.
But Northridge was after.
Yes. 97, right?
94.
Yeah. 94. And then Hector Marine was 90 or
99, wasn't it?
89. No, 99?
99, I think.
Yeah. 92, 99, yeah.
Because it's making triangles. I looked it up before. When I was looking at the 7s.
So we can safely say that Southern Cal gets mid 5s to low or mid 6s, call it that, mid 5s to mid 6s prior to the desert moving. So, I mean, what happened right before Ridgecrest? Anything? Did you look that up?
Well, right before Ridgecrest, it was the swarm at Glenavon was the biggest.
No,
thing.
that's the little stuff. I'm talking about sizable.
Like the Peru quake. The 8.
Yeah, the 8. What about in the greater Los Angeles area? I guess I have to look that up, don't I?
Yeah, I don't remember. It'd probably be just little small ones.
Yeah, let's go.
And then Costa Rica had a 6.8, like a week before, I think.
2018 to 2019 search. Oh crap! That's going to show a lot.
No, I think Loma Prieta was another thrust fault, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Because every earthquake since like the 80s that they've gone back to look at and found out where it actually was, it's on a thrust fault.
All right. Southern Cal didn't have any large quakes from September to September from 2018 to 2019. But the Blanco fracture zone was banging. the Ferndale, the Gordo Escarpment was banging, and
yeah, because the Texas Liniment was
you
going
get
bonkers for, I don't know,
6.8 up there in Port Manil, 6.5 in 2018. Big quakes here on what fracture zone is that?
Yeah, there was 3 6s up there in 2018. I remember
Mm-hmm.
they were at nighttime, and I slept through it, and I was all mad.
I remember you were. And the July 4th is the 6.2. So 2018 hit, and then this, and then.
And 2018 was the year he had the big fires, the Paradise Fire and the Camp Fire and all that. So that was all the year, the summer before Ridgecrest.
Mm.
And 2018 was the big Kilauea eruption.
I guess what we're trying to do by looking at these things is to see, we know this quake was 7.1 Ridgecrest. We're looking at a year back and a year after, or months after, actually, to see what pressure, if any, can be witnessed in the area. And the largest quake, I think he's right, was down in Peru, an 8.0 that happened on May 26th. And then on 7/4, July 4th, Ridgecrest, or July 6th.
When I looked all that up before, it takes it about 5 to 8 weeks to come up.
Right.
When I looked at all the other ones. Yeah, the Costa Rica Panama border quake was on June 26, 2019.
Yes.
6.7.
6.2, 6.0. There's no 6.7 there.
Well, it says 6.7 on the thing that I looked at.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Share this tab instead. All right, so here it is. Here's the 3/23 in 2019 in Colombia, Ecuador, February 22, and then May 26, it banged at 8.0 in Peru, northern Peru.
So pretty much you need like an 8.
Southern Peru in 2019 hit 3.1
in South America before you get a big quake in, before you get a 7 in SoCal or NorCal.
Well, Bolivia hit, Peru hit, and then Peru really hit, but Ecuador hit before.
So then the 7.7, Vampy's saying, when was that? In 91. So where was that? Costa Rica? Well, that would have been the year before Landers then.
There's a 6.6 on May 30th in El Salvador. There's a 6.7 in February off of Mexico in Guatemala. Are you referring to that one? Because that's February.
What are we talking about? 2019?
19, yeah.
Yeah, there's 6.7. Costa Rica, June 26. So like a week before.
Costa Rica is here. Yeah. Oh, it's out to sea. It's a 6. They call it Colombia. A 6.0 in Panama. 6.2, and they must have lowered it, or they're not showing it, bud.
Oh, I just typed
I'm
it
sure
in.
you did. I'm sure you did.
It says much of Costa Rica was awakened Tuesday night as a 6.7 magnitude earthquake and its aftershocks hit.
What date? What's the date?
June 26.
All right, so that's why. That's why. 2018, right?
Yeah. No, 2019.
All right. No. Because my...
oh, well, now down here it says that they switched it to 6.2.
Yeah. Custom, we'll say
Oh,
6,
and then another one says it's 6.3.
18.
So they've changed this one like 7 times.
That's what I was trying to get at, and 19. And let's go 12, 31. All the 6s in the area. So let's go custom. I want to see if there's anything up that way. I'm going to use this region. All right. Anything above a 6. Okay. We got a 7.5 that happened in 18. Wow. Out here toward the Cayman Islands. That was 2018, January 10. And did it create all these other ones?
Well, there was 7.7 there in 2020 on my birthday. Cayman Islands.
Yeah, we were online then.
Yeah.
It's all right. So Peru happened. Well, in May 26. I got to do that.
The Glen Avon swarm started the same day. Or like the day before, around that same time. I remember looking at that.
So I'm gonna click them, and we're gonna see. Share this tab instead. Okay, all 6s from 2018, 2019. Okay, oldest first. All right, so it's starting down. There's the oldest. Okay, January 1st, 2010, which now is a 7.5. It was just a 7.6. Oh, maybe it wasn't. Then it went south. Then it went north. Then it went south. Then it went north. Then it went south. Then it went south. Then it went out to front, Easter Island. Then it went north. Then it went east. Then it went north. Then it went south. Then it went north. Then it went north. North. North, because it's swarming. Big quakes. Big 6.8s and all. Then south. South. North. South. North. South. North. South. 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 North. South. North. South. North. South. North. North. South. That's Ridgecrest. Ridgecrest. South. North. South. South. North. 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 South. North. North. South. North. North. South.
So what year did you do it through to?
2018, 2019.
Oh, just 2 years.
2 years only. 6s and above.
Yeah, because if you did 20 and 21, it would go all the way up to Sand Point.
Probably, huh? Yeah. Primarily, it bounces 6s and above, bounce back and forth. Mind you, we had a couple of swarms in there. We had the swarms up here off McNeil, 2 sets of swarms. And I think down here we had a swarm in Valparaiso. So it was back and forth, bing, 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 bing. And then it would go keep going north. And then it keep going south. So we had a couple of times where it just kept going north, and there's a couple of times it just went south. I think it's interesting that it would do that.
Yeah. Well, the Caribbean has to be acting up to get the big quakes in Pacific Northwest.
Well, you got the Caracas. We also have the Cayman Islands. We also have a 6 out in Puerto Rico. Then off the coast of Nicaragua, they called it Colombia. It's Nicaragua. And then Panama, banging hard. This is the area of Panama I think it's hitting right now, is it not?
Yeah, it's been going down there for a while, but it seems like it hasn't come up any farther than Guatemala, Guerrero, really with bigger ones. So like 6s. That's like as far as it's come up. And then the other 6s were up Vancouver Island.
Yeah, just check 30 days and they're not even showing just the one of 5.8 off the coast. But we had not too long ago, it was pounding Costa Rica there. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, and there was just the Guatemala one, whatever it was. 6. I think it was a 6 unless they downgraded it. It's probably downgraded.
6-1 off Salvador. 5-1 off Guatemala. I don't know, man. I mean, it's really tough to kind of prove anything. I mean, yeah, the biggest was off of Salvador. And this is 30 days, everything, right? 30 days, 40. Now, a lot of these, USGS didn't even show. Right? It's the last 30 days.
And there's still been no 7s between Sandpoint and Colima since 2021.
Yeah.
West Coast. So that's like 3 years. There's been a few 6s, but not like bigger ones. So like low 6.
Well, it's hard to prove anything. We're looking for patterns, and we got Kamchatka going off. We got PNG going off. Fiji and Tonga going.
Yeah, Tonga had the 6.
And then what's interesting now is we are seeing a line of quakes move up Indonesia, whereas it was quiet. It's picked up significantly, starting to see more and more.
To me, that makes sense, though, because Australia's had all their quakes in the south, and Antarctica's pushing up on it, smashing it into all that. So that stuff should all start going off.
Yeah. Well, looking at the tectonic map, looking at the Sunda and Java trenches, it's moving up, right? Everything's moving up. And then the southeast Indian Ridge is actually moving away. But this portion of Australia right here, it's moving up big. And I think also it's moving big away. And again, moving, and I think it's more the Pacific that's moving it all. And the Antarctic here in the Pacific, that is moving it. I think I got it zoomed. There, and go back to 100. So looking at the arrows, the Antarctic is pushing at 14, but the East Pacific rise is pushing at 100, 82, 78, 94, 56. And then also the Antarctic is pushing at 12 and 14. And it's pushing away from Australia. This way is moving south. So it's kind of like in a counterclockwise rotation. However, off the darn thing, it's moving at 70. How does this work? If it's moving right, how is it moving north? Or if it's moving east, how is it moving north? to me, that's weird. That's why when you said that, I go, wait a minute, I'm seeing something different. What I'm seeing is the Australian plate itself is moving north.
It's getting bumped north. So when you have all those quakes across the south of Australia, which is what it's doing, it's pushing Australia up.
Right, but it's not the plate down here that's doing it. It's the South Indian Ridge that's doing it.
Well, not by what I read. It's the Antarctic plate pushing
I'm looking
up Australia.
I'm looking to see if this is correct. Right? If all these are GPS rotations and they're correct, then it's the Southeast Indian Ridge is pushing it, not the Antarctic plate. Unless the Antarctic plate, which is pushing the East Pacific rise, which the East Pacific rise is pushing way faster. If these numbers are correct, I don't know if they're correct. It's not making sense to me.
Well, the EPR is pushing the Pacific plate. It's not pushing Australia.
Well, if the EPR and the Indian Ridge are the same thing, then it is. Just because they're in two different.
To me, the Mid-Indian Ridge is a triple junction. So it's 3 spreading ridges. So it's spreading.
Yeah, in the Indian Ocean. I got you in the Indian Ocean. And I'm sure you're seeing what I'm saying. Yeah. In the Indian Ocean, it's a triple junction here.
Yeah.
But you see the arrows all pointing at the rotation is going south, and then it's going back north over here. And as it does, it's pushing the plate, right? The Pacific plate, which is once it hits that East Pacific rise there, it moves faster. East Pacific rise, the Pacific Antarctic Ridge, and the Indian Ridge are all the same damn thing until you get to the triple junction there. There is a triple junction, but compressional and subduction coming off of this. But I see the EPR starting right there, going all the way around.
And Zealandia is actually hooked to Australia.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right through here, eh?
Yeah.
And we need to go to your Zealandia. Right there. Share this tab. All this. Isn't it funny? It looks kind of like India. Then a little bit added thing to it.
Because that's what they say is Zealandia was part of Australia. It's just sunken under the water.
Right. I think parts of it were out here. It was different, but this part here, I think you're right. I think all this was part of it. I don't know how you get across a subduction zone without, well, is it a subduction zone? Yeah. I don't know how you get across it.
Well, it's subducting the northern part of
the
North Island.
It's like it's ringing out. Yeah. It's destroying it. You're right. It's kind of wild. Well, these are the tools we use, everybody.
But to me, it's Antarctica pushing up on Australia, pushing it into everything. Now, the other ones are different depending on where you are. But what's weird is it needs to have a big quake at Macquarie Island in order to make a large quake up in Indonesia at the top. Because that's what it does. I don't know what that has to do with it. The only thing I can figure is there must be some liniment that cuts up through that way from Macquarie Island, which is way down below New Zealand there, where the plate.
Well, Vampy's got an interesting thought. She says she's never seen proof that the North and South American plates are ever separated east of the Caribbean. I think they're still held together by the seafloor. And there is kind of a break right here through off of Puerto Rico, where we had a pretty good sized quake not too long ago. And if we zoomed in off of Puerto Rico,
well, I can't remember what they say which way the Caribbean plate is moving. East, I think. So it's like doing the opposite.
It's going northwest. It's turning.
Well, if it's northwest, then it's the same as South America, because that's what it says for GPS.
South America is moving northwest, but Caribbean is moving more north than west. And it's in the American or the North American plate is moving almost due west, like Mexico. The Pacific plate's moving more north, but it's still moving more west. And I'll show you here. So it's like, if you're looking at these arrows, if these are correct, what's weird is they don't do anything when you go beyond the Pacific rise for the Africa. I don't see anything there. All this area here, nothing, because Eurasia is only moving 5 and 8. But how come this side's moving faster? Why is it down here that this is only pushing at 14, but everything else is moving faster? The East Pacific rise is creating a lot of land, is what it's doing. And as it's doing, it's creating land, it's moving that damn plate a ton faster. Even 103 out here, 92, 97, 90, 89, or 69. And then the Cobb, moving that way. But in the Atlantic, it's moving slow. And it's slow up here, 19, but down here is moving faster. So there's a downward trend. In the whole west, where the Garda, California, it's moving due south. On the surface, we don't know what's happening down below. So you can have two plates intersected, kind of running on top of each other and grinding, but we don't really know what the hell's going on. In my opinion, if you got a better idea in understanding that, all right. I'm willing to listen to what you have to say, But if these numbers are correct, I don't know they are. But this is a plate tectonics world map. If you have a better one, I'll use it. But, this is the one that I use because it's accessible. I don't know. Somebody could have just been talking out their butt, creating all this. But, what do you think, Canuck? You think it's all BS?
Well, sometimes the GPS and the other things don't agree. So it just depends on which one you're using.
Right. Yeah. Well, we've been 2 hours already. Yeah. You want to say anything left? You have anything that you want to get off your chest?
No, I can't think anything else.
It took me 4 days to recover after the last one.
Well, I've been like sleeping into like 9 or 10 o'clock every day ever since.
Right. I worked in the heat. And I just tell you, man, I've just, that last 2 hours one just kicked my tail on Wednesday.
Yeah. Well, we did pretty good to get 2 hours out of all that stuff tonight.
Yeah. I don't know. Did we go for a circle? We had fun.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Canuck, you don't have anything left to say, bud?
No, I can't think of anything else.
I know Vamp or Kat wanted to do something special, so we're going to set a time up for that. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know if you're available. I think she's gone on to bed, but
yeah, whatever that third energy thing is, I'll have to read that one.
Yeah, third global energy field.
Yeah.
endurance rock ship is about to discover. All right. Yeah, she's got something here. So it's NASA Goddard. Go check it out.
Yeah, third, so maybe it makes triangles.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, it's a fun night. I appreciate you, Canuck.
Oh, and bipolar electric
Oh.
field.
Yeah.
Great, now the Earth's bipolar.
Oh my God. No, sometimes things change quick. Yeah. Spot on this GS page. There's almost nothing there.
Oh, this is the force that drives charged particles into space above the poles.
Yeah, steady stream of particles escapes from our atmosphere into space. Scientists call this mystery outflow polar wind. And for almost 60 years, spacecrafts have been flying through it as scientists have theorized about its cause. The leading theory is that the planet-wide electric field was drawing those particles up into space. But this is so-called ambipolar electric field. If it exists, it is so weak in attempts to measure it to have failed. Until now. That's the article here. All right. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that one. Maybe she was talking about that back when we were talking about the liniment, maybe. I don't know. But I know she's probably gone on to bed, so
it's late. Launching the ion.
No, she's here.
Yeah. Or no, the electrons are launched into space and the ions fall downwards.
I think she had one too many of those near beers. She passed out.
Oh, they have opposite charges.
Okay. Well, we can discuss that stuff on another rabbit hole. Well, thanks, everybody. Remember, don't get none on you. And Joe Slick Live here on twitch.tv/Joe Slick Live, Monday through Friday. And there on Rumble. We're going to probably be doing a lot more on Rumble as well. But Wednesdays and Saturdays at 7 Mountain Standard Time. Big hugs, y'all. Thanks, Canuck. Love you, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody's input. And yeah, I think I'm going to go. I'm going to go to bed. Good night, my brother.
Good night.